Good morning, my dear student. Welcome you in online class of Bal Sadhana Group of Institution. Myself, Parveen Chaudhary, TGT Social Science in Bal Sadhana Public School, Gudagorji. Yesterday we discussed about the English war with Punjab, in which we studied about the First Anglo-Sikh War, Second Anglo-Sikh War, and the merger of Punjab in the English Empire. And today we discussed about the War of Independence of 1857. This chapter is very important for all classes. This chapter also important for all the classes 6 to 10th, and for the competitive exams also. This war started in 1857, and this war means war of independence, also called as the revolt of 1857, and English historian and Indian historians also call it in their language like as the first freedom struggle of Indian independence, or spy mutiny, Sipai rebellion, etc., and the war of independence. So today we discuss about in detail about the war of independence 1857. So first I tell you that East India Company come in India in 1600 AD at the time of Mughal Emperor Jahangir, and he rules 1757. From 1600 to 1680 to 1757, this time period is known in East India Company as come as for as trade and business. East India Company came to India for the purpose of trade and business. Means between the time period 1600 AD to 1757, this time period, between the time period, East India Company came to India for the purpose of trade and business. As per timing spent, East India Company convert their trading into a company rule, and this is known as the time period from 1757 to 1857, and this time period is known as the East India Company East India Company rule, or we call it company rule. Means in this time period, the English East Indian men come in India for the purpose of trade and business. As per time spendings, the East India Company established their control on trade and business, and it set up as a company rule in India. And after 1857 to 1947, in 1947, August 1947, our India was got independent, and this time period is known as British rule. British rule or British Raj. So our independence war of independence start in 1857, because the East India Company behave with rude behave with the Indian people, and they interfere in the internal matter of Indian rulers and the people of in the common life of common peoples, like as in political life, social life, religious life. So the people, the common people and the ruler both front the British East India Company, and the war is started in 1857. So first I uh, tell you some basic detail about the revolt of 1857. Some revolution fact. 1857 revolt of 1857. Some facts, important facts, like as at the time of 1857, the British PM, who was the British PM? Prime Minister, name Lord Palmerston. Palmerston. And at the time of revolt 1857, the Governor General of India, Governor General of India was Lord Canning, and the Mughal Emperor, you know, Mughal Emperor, name Bahadur Shah. Bahadur Shah second become the ruler of India at the time of revolt of 1857, and the British commander name Campbell, and the symbol of the revolt of 1857 was the symbol was the lotus flower for the soldiers, and for the common people chapati. For the common people, the symbol of 1857 lotus flower is lotus flower for the soldiers and chapati for the common people. This revolt was the first major united revolt against the British East India Company or colonial rule in India. Some British scholars and historians called it the Sipahi Mutiny. Because why the British historian and scholars called it Sipahi Mutiny? Because in 34 BNI, Bengal Native Infantry, a soldier's named Mangal Pandey, revolted against his masters, and because because at the time of revolt of 1857, a new rifle named Enfield rifle were in use. So these rifles open these rifle uses as a fat cartridges, and these fat cartridges were used as a pig and cow fatted. So before the use these cartridges, these bullets were open by mouth, and the cow is the holy animal in the Hindu religion, and the pig is the holy animal in Muslim religion. So both were annoyed with the Britishers, and they revolted against their masters. So in Barakpur, 34 Bengal native infantry in Barakpur, Mangal Pandey was the first who in revolted against their masters. Through this same, in May 1857, 85 soldiers in the Meerut cantonment refused to use these fatted cartridges. Then the British masters punished them for long-term imprisonment in the Meerut cantonment. So all the soldiers' colleagues openly revolted against the British rule. So as per this, British historians called it Sipahi Mutiny, and one Indian scholars or historians, Vinayak Damodar Savarkar, called it as the first freedom struggles of India in his book named War of Indian Independence, because according to Vinayak Damodar Savarkar or VD Savarkar, these soldiers and the common people came together and openly revolted against the British rule. So he seems it as the first freedom struggle for Indian independence. So some reasons of 1857 revolt, like as reasons for 1857 revolution. First, political reason. Social reason, social and religious reason. Third, economic reason. Four, military reason. And fifth, immediate reason. And these reason, political reason, the East India Company adopted a policy of doctrine of Lepes, and this policy is started by the Governor General Lord Dalhousie. And according to this policy, that a kingdom could be annexed if the king died without a male heir. And according to this policy, many kingdoms were annexed, like as Satara, Sambalpur, Udaipur, Nagpur, Jhansi, Awadh. Satara was merged into British Empire in 1848, Sambalpur 1850, Udaipur 1852, Nagpur 1853, Jhansi 1854, and Awadh 1856. Mughal and second political reason, first adopted or a great resentment in the Indian rulers against the Lord Dalhousie policy of doctrine of Lepage. Second was Mughal emperor was insulted by the British government. Means after the a revolt in or making as a leader of 1857, Mughal emperor Bahadur Shah imprisoned in the Rangoon jail. The British government, third, the British government discontinued the pension of Nana Sahib. Nana Sahib was the adopted son of Bajirao II. And fourth, Britishers interfered in the internal matter of Indian rulers through the policy of subsidiary alliances. Policy of subsidiary alliances. This policy is started by Lord Wellesley. According to this policy, subsidiary alliances, the British government interfered in the internal matter of Indian rulers. According to this alliances, a British officer were present in the court of any rulers, in which if any decision was taken by the king or queen, and after the discussion with their British officer, and this British officer is known as the political agents. Fifth, the British government annexed the state of Awadh on the name of maladministration. And last there was a resentment in the federal class also. So this is the political reason. Same as social and religious reason. Political reason, there was a great resentment in the Indian ruler against the Lord Dalhousie policy of doctrine of Lepage. Doctrine of Lepage. Lord Dalhousie, the Governor General from 1848 to 1856, devised the doctrine. It stated, means that a kingdom could be annexed or merged in British Empire if the king died without a male heir. And through this policy, doctrine of Lepage, many kingdoms were merged into British Empire. Satara 1848, Sambalpur 1850, Udaipur 1852, Nagpur 1853, Jhansi 1854, Awadh 1856. Second reason was Mughal emperor was insulted by the British government. Means Mughal emperor uh, was imprisoned and sent it to Rangoon. The British government discontinued the pension of Nana Sahib. Nana Sahib was the adopted son of Peshwa Bajirao II. Nana Sahib was the adopted son of Bajirao II. So British government discontinued the pension of Nana Sahib. Britisher interfere in the internal matter of Indian rulers. The British government annexed the state of Awadh on the name of maladministration. There was a resentment in the federal class also. Next, social and religious reason. Britishers interfere in the life of Indian on the name of social reforms. Yes, we can say that point. This point is also good for Indians because in 1829, with the help of Raja Ram Mohan Rai, Lord William Bentinck stopped or banned the Sati system. But the Sati system is a ritual in the Indian religion. So we can say that some reforms they do good, but some reforms they good and they do bad. Second, the Britisher insulted Indian citizen and behave badly with them. Means British, suppose that if any Indian passes from any village or any ways, that if any Britisher face the Indian person, soldiers, rulers, and the Indian person, the Indian shut down their head in the front of British. So this is the insult for the Indians, and they behave. The Britisher behave with badly with them. Third, the Indians were not appointed on higher post. The Indians were not appointed on higher post. Means the British government or the British government or Britisher were not given the highest post to the Indians. The Britisher used unfair means to promote Christianity. Means this is the main reason. This is the main reason with the dissatisfactions among the Indians, because Britisher use unfair means. Unfair means they greed them to may adopt the Christianity. If they told them if they adopted Christianity, then they gave higher post in the British government. And second, if Indian prison adopted Christianity, then they release from imprisonment or their term will be low. Britisher started making mockery the Indian gods, and the British started mockery. Mockery means as a laughing on the Indian gods and Indian system of worship. Many people were compelled to adopt the Christianity. Next, economic reason. The British adopted the policy of exploitations of the country. The Britishers looted Bengal and they collected heavy land revenue from the farmers. This happened after the Battle of Plassey and Battle of Buxar. Because the battle after the Battle of Plassey took place in 1757 and Battle of Buxar 1764. Battle of Plassey and Battle of Buxar. After this battle, after the Battle of Buxar in 1764, the British company got the Diwani rights. Diwani rights means the British levies on higher tax on the Indian people or Indian citizens, and this Diwani rights got after the Treaty of Allahabad. Treaty of Allahabad. And this Treaty of Allahabad was the Battle of Buxar was fought between the fought between the Nawab Mir Qasim Sujaudullah and Mughal Emperor Alam Shah II. After the getting Diwani rights, the British imposed heavy tax on Indian goods and deindustrialization also started in India. At that time, industrialization started in England. So England made the goods in England and sell their goods in Indian market at a high cost, and they collected raw material from India in low price. Next, military reason, there was a great resentment in the soldiers of Awadh by annexing Awadh into British India, because on the name of male administrations, British annexed Awadh in the British Empire. Britishers did not allow the Indian soldiers to maintain their lifestyle and eating habits. The Indian soldiers were given lower salaries as in comparison of British soldiers, and they did not allow the higher post to Indian soldiers. The strongest reason of resentment among the Indian soldiers was the presence of fat of cow and pig in the bullets, and which were supposed to be true after the before it use. This is the main reason of starting the revolt of 1857. Now, immediate reason, fake news of bone dust in the floor, and second, fat of cow and pig in the cartridges or bullets. Now, sparking point, Barakpur, Bengal, 34 Bengal Native Infantry, and on 29 March 1857, Mangal Pandey killed two British officers named Bagh and Hewson. Killed the two British officers named Bagh and Hewson through his Enfield rifle, and Mangal Pandey hanged on 8th April 1857. This is the all our reason for the starting revolt of 1857. So this is political reason, social and religious reason, economic reason, military reason, and immediate reason. So I hope you understand the reasons of 1850 revolt of 1857. Thank you. Have a nice day.